Welcome to the Roland Systems Group new product introduction webcast. For some of you, it's morning, others are afternoon and evening. Wherever you may be, we want to thank you for tuning in today. Reminder, there's a little chat button on your window there that you can punch and put in a moniker of some kind, and then you are free to ask questions, and we have specialists standing by that can just try to answer those as best we can, and it gives a good two-way feedback for us. Today we're going to actually show you two products, and as most of you know, the Roland Systems Group is very much an audio and a video company. Equal attention. We're all about integrating those two worlds together. So the first product I want to show you is a video one, and that is in our multi-format switcher category. And we've got a great history there, award-winning type switchers. The V440 HD was first in 2005, and it actually married the standard definition to the high definition very well in the analog domain with component, RGB, standard definition. Was really known and is still used and sold today. In fact, it's really known with its high scalers, high quality scalers, great picture quality. We did a rack mount version of that that's still available, the V44SW. Does very well on a more compact level. In 2010, we actually moved into the V1600 HD, which brought the digital domain into our switcher product line with SDI and DVI-D, as well as HDMI. Built-in monitor, great unit, still available, still selling well. The V800 HD came along last year, less inputs, but it upped the processing to 3G, so that's 1080p, as well as some other strong features, multi-viewers and other things in there. Very strong product line. And really, there's a few streams that flow through all of those multi-format mixers, and that's about the connectivity of it, as well as the multi-format aspects where you don't have to match your sources to your output. You can plug anything in and it will come out fine through the scalers that are in there, as well as everything ready to go all in one unit, so that you don't have cards to add necessarily. So very strong line that is sold very well into the corporate AV market, into rental and production, into houses of worship. But what's really been happening the last year or so is the ton of HD sources that are now available. You've got camcorders and camera devices that start even at $199 and go up from there. You've got all of your tablets and Surface and iPad minis all have formats, HDMI typically, that will come out and quite high quality, 1080, 720. And then you've got computers. Laptops, they're all high resolution graphic cards in there now. So you've got these HDMI, you've got these component, you've got RGB sources, all needing to be used in some way and switched in some way. So how do you take those lower priced products? And in particular, a lot of the switchers have SDI. That typically puts you at a price point in the multiple thousands, plus cameras that are more expensive and all that. So how do you use those really quite good quality, even consumer level HDMI component cameras? Some of them you already have, some of them you can get, you know, like I said, for a few $100s. How do you use those? How can you switch them in an affordable way? Well, we want to introduce to you today the V40 HD, a great 4-channel multi-format switchers, whether using it on inexpensive cameras or just wanting to connect a bunch of laptops to it. Very, very user-friendly, very capable. What are some of its key features? First of all, the popular range of connectivity, whether it is HDMI or DVI, whatever it may be. We're going to look at that in a moment. The ability to not have to worry about what format you want to plug in. It will take any format, resolution, and almost any, and pull it up into whatever output format you choose, whether that be HD or an RGB kind of data format, depending on the projector or display that you're using. Has built-in multi-viewer output. It's HDCP ready, which we're going to talk about. It can handle all your copy-protected sources, as well as a new feature for us, the audio embedding. So you can take audio and embed it into your HDMI output, ready to stream and take out to broadcast or to the web, which we'll look at in a moment. First of all, let's take a look at the back panel. The back panel consists of 4 different input systems, let's call them. Each input has 3 different connectors. 4 composite, 1 on each input then. Again, 4 RGB and component, and that's that 15-pin 15-pin connector, sometimes called VGA. It can handle RGB or Y, PBPR video right up to 1080p, as well as RGB HV for your computer rates, and 15 pins. So very versatile jack there. And last but not least, your HDMI and DVI-D sources, again, right up to 1080p. It can be handled, as well as your computer formats on that jack as well. So a total of 12 input connectors on the back that are all usable, as we'll see in a moment. On the output side, we have got a composite out, which is always active and it will always downscale. Great to archive or send off to a lower grade stream if you want to just stream out it in standard definition. You're also able to have 2 RGB component outputs, as well as your DVI-D and HDMI. Again, 5 total outputs across 2 buses. So great back panel. We've got some other features we don't have time to talk about today. Your RS-232 for wall panel integration, MIDI for audio follows video connected to our audio consoles, as well as tally control for cameras. Let's take a look at the top panel at a couple features there. Let's take a look at 4 buttons around the preview area. Now, on the back panel, we have a multi-viewer out. It's an HDMI jack that you can connect to an HDMI monitor. And those 4 buttons on the top panel let you choose what that monitor shows you. It can be a quad view of all your 4 sources. It can be a full frame of your preview or your program, or even your downstream keyer, where you're able to set up your lower third text or your lyrics on an image before you take it live, just to make sure it's gonna look good. Another section is the scaling area. Before that, the HD output. So you can choose what kind of output you want to send to, whether it be 1080, 720, a data rate like 1280 by 1024 if you're going to a certain projector. You want to set that output to whatever that is. Very easy to set some defaults there. Beside that's an audio meter. Now that we've integrated audio, you want to look at the mix. You want to make sure your levels are high enough and that you're not clipping. Down below that on the left side is your scaling area now. Now each input has independent scalers. So this joystick and this knob can be used to scale all of your sources independently to just make them look right, especially those computer images which sometimes don't quite fill the screen out. You can tweak them or zoom in to wherever you need to, as well as adjust your picture-in-picture, how big it is and how far you've zoomed in. The other area I want to bring attention to is the program preview bus, and those 3 buttons are just up in that left corner. What that allows you to do is very quickly select which input is connected. You remember on the back panel, each input really has 3 different connectors. So you can connect a camera, for example, to an HDMI, but at the same time put a computer into the RGB jack, and now very quickly switch between those 2 sources using those buttons. So this gives you a very quick access to all 12 of your inputs at the push of a button, essentially. I want to highlight 3 different examples of more advanced processing. There's a lot of things in this unit, but for sake of time, I'll just highlight 3. One of those ones that actually, again, runs through all of our multi-format digital switchers with the V1600 HD, the V800 HD, and now the V40 is this multi-zoom feature. Great, exciting feature that people are really happy with. What it allows you to do is take one input source and actually patch it through to a couple other channels, and then because there's independent scalers on every channel, you can zoom into a particular part of that image. So you can take a wide shot, and on channel 2 then zoom into a piece over here, and then on channel 3 zoom into another part of the frame. And actually at the beginning of this webcast, we used it. We only have 1 camera on me at the moment, and you see the wide shot here, and then you see the close-up. That's just set to another channel, and zoomed in a little bit closer. So it looks like we have a couple camera views when it's really only one that we're using. So great feature there. The next feature I want to talk about is the audio embedding. This is the ability to take a feed, especially during a live event, from your main console and run it into the video mixer, and then have it embedded into the digital HDMI stream right in there. Now you can use HDMI audio sources, or you can use these analog sources. In either case, when you mix analog or analog video together, you want to make sure you have good lip sync, so the lips match the audio. To do that, you need to have built-in delay, and the V40 has that. It has not only a mixer to change levels, but you also have the ability to set frame delay, both video and audio, to get that perfect match. The other feature I want to highlight is HDCP. This is a copy protection protocol that is in Blu-ray discs, is in games consoles if you want to connect it. If you're playing something from your iPad or tablet that's commercially available, that will be HDCP protected. So the V40 and the V800 as well are both HDCP ready and support that fully. So when you connect those, you're able to see that through an HDCP device like a projector or display, and most displays and projectors are HDCP compliant now. If you don't have that in your switcher, you're going to connect those and they're not going to work. It's just going to be black. You're not going to see anything. So this is very key, especially for corporate AV where you're playing back material or sessions where you're using various copy protected materials. Now you can switch between live camera and a Blu-ray disc, no problem, with an HDCP compliant switcher. Let's take a look as I finish on a few examples. How do you use this thing? Some ideas. Well, easy one is just connecting all of those different, very affordable sources. Your SDI mixers, as I said before, just sit up here in price point. You don't need one of those or converters to get it down into, you know, a $300 camera. You just want to plug it in right with an HDMI jack there, ready to go. So this is an obvious one, very nice to use. How about this sports application or a field application where you've got, in this case, the GoPros, maybe you use an iPad app for the scoreboard, and you can use the picture-in-picture to zoom in to just the clock or just the score, put that up in the corner of your display, and you got a great portable application. Notice there's a 4-pin power supply or power jack there on the back. We give you an AC adapter, of course, but with the 4-pin, you can get a 4-pin battery tap that will allow you to connect to standard battery packs from Anton Bauer or IDX, and then run the whole rig completely portable. Take that output into a record, stream, a laptop, whatever it may be, and you've got a great package sitting there, very high quality video. This next example is really one I can relate to during meetings or conferences, whatever it may be. Multiple people have presentations. They've got their PowerPoint, they've got their keynote, and it's often can be a gong show. This guy comes up, it's his turn, he plugs in, he connects it in, whatever. Some guy has a VGA, some guy's got HDMI, some guy's got a Mac with a DVI dongle, whatever it may be, you plug in, and it's different. Some guy's got a 4:3 slide. One guy can't get it quite working, but he's got 16:9, and it's always quite a few minutes sometimes to jack in, and it doesn't always look the best, but you kind of carry on. With this setup, you can plug in easily 4 computers, but with the push buttons on the top, you can actually plug in another 4. So 4 HDMI or DVI computers, or a 4 RGB VGA. So very quickly and seamlessly able to switch between 8 different computers, all ready to go. Much more professional, much easier. You can get all that out of the way before you even start and then carry on. So really, this is built for live events, corporate AV, rental and production, houses of worship, live concerts, any kind of an event where you're using multiple devices, but now you can use it with even more affordable types of sources and readily available sources, which many of us have already. So you can see a number of the features there that we're talking about, the compactness and portability. So there you have the V40 HD, great product, great legacy of scalers and image quality and processing with connectivity and a multi-format line that you can plug basically anything in the connectors that you've seen already. Very excited that it's available soon in January at the great list price of $44.95. So it fully fits and matches that kind of high-level quality, but with those affordable sources. So we're going to take a look right now at the V40 HD promotional video. And when we come back, we're going to take off this black layer here. Christian Delfino is going to be here, and we're going to look at this exciting new audio product from Roland Systems Group. So we'll see you in a couple minutes.